It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center. For the Timberwolves, you got to give their coaching staff credit for how well they had the team prepared coming into the season. There have been none of those early struggles that so many teams experience. They found their identity in the preseason, and that
Clouds passing high over the 10th Avenue Bridge and the Mississippi River here in Minneapolis. A gorgeous scene. We have the Thunder as the road team for today's Western Conference matchup. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. We are nearly ready for...
Well, guys, we all know how hard Russell Westbrook plays every night. Coach Billy Donovan said he plays with such force and passion. He gets so intense, so competitive, so emotional, but he's doing a good job of bringing himself back together and understanding there's other guys out there depending on him. Kevin?
And that's how Russ has always been, D.A., a high-motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. Some impressive athletes tonight, Brett, really on both sides. How much of the outcome will come down to which team executes the best?
Yeah, most of the games decided in this league do come down to that very fact, Kevin.
Execution.
Yeah, which of these teams is going to put themselves first in position and then to do their best with the position they put themselves into. That means execution.
An efficient start here offensively, working it inside for the easy two.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. On the wings, Abrinas and George. Adams is out there with Anthony, and it's Westbrook. And
the awareness of Russell Westbrook to locate the open man and deliver a strike, something he's developing.
Back to Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
The leaping ability is off the charts. Not the biggest power forward, but outstanding at rising up off the ground.
Here's Westbrook, and good that time.
Well, that's when his speed comes at you, and then he throws the ball out there with some length and is able to finish around you.
Here's Gibson, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
Artful passing on that play, showing a real desire to set up the teammate.
On defense, Minnesota. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And typically on the road, it's harder to get into a great rhythm offensively, but they did just that.
Felt like the louder the crowd got and the more hostile they were, the more together this team played. So it worked out nicely.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
From the arc. Minnesota with the rebound.
Man, that's a clean shot, too. You got to sink those. He must be disappointed that he blew that chance.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Knocks it loose. Gibson with the steal. For the finish, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
That's the kind of work you want your point guard to do. Sensational ball movement by Jeff Teague there to set up his man.
Here's Westbrook. The shot that time not on target. So Minnesota will take it the other way. And Gibson kicks to Butler. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Butler's got his second bucket.
And the versatility of Butler, just impressive. Solid at finding ways to get inside and finish at the rim.
The three from George. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Timberwolves have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field to start out the game. And it's Wiggins missing. Thunder trailing by 3. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. George sets a screen for Westbrook. Here's Abrinas. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. And here we go, fast break. Wiggins has got it. It's Butler that time on the assist by Wiggins. Butler's got 6. So here's Westbrook. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Indiana.
And it was not a one-man show. That was the best part. He had just as good a game with his passing as he did with his scoring.
Here's Adams, and Adams with the slam.
And not a lot of range on Steven Adams' offensive game, so he understands those limitations and gets to the rack.
with the ball. Westbrook picks him up. And Gibson kicks to Teague. Wiggins from outside. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility.
Westbrook dishes to Carmelo. Adams with the screen on Gibson. Lob pass to George. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. And while we have a chance, let's take a look at the best free throw shooters in the league from last season. Fifth best, Paul George.
He was locked and loaded from the free throw line all season. Never suffered through any real lulls in that department.
Timberwolves leading by 6. And here is Teague. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the Pistons in Detroit. Lets the three fly. That one doesn't drop. And the Thunder going the other way now. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still their ability to stay composed was impressive.
Well, it led to a big scoring effort, taking advantage of every weakness. So any possession the defense wasn't aggressive on, they were on the offensive end.
Well, they're passing to Towns. And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. And a bit of a bittersweet question for you, Brent. We know you spent so many years with the Sonics who eventually were uprooted and became this Thunder team. How badly would you like to see Seattle get a basketball team again?
I think it's the NBA's mission to get back to Seattle, and under Adam Silver, he's asked questions about the return to the Emerald City, and I think it's going to happen, Kevin. If it does, I'd love to be a part of what the organization does up there. I do miss the PNW. That's the Pacific Northwest.
Towns with the steal. Right side, Butler. And Adams sends it back.
Well, Adams quick off his feet there with that size and length. Tough to shoot over.
The Timberwolves shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game. Free throw good, Teague. And Jeff Teague coming over to the Timberwolves in free agency. Greg, the team felt he was the perfect fit.
You know, and it seemed for a while the Wolves had wanted to kind of mix things up at that point guard position. And you knew they had someone in mind when they dealt both Rubio and Dunn in the offseason. Teague was their man all along.
It's George on the wing. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 3 assists now in this one. Right side, Teague. In the corner, it's Wiggins. On the wing. That's short off the rim.
You can't afford to let guys get comfortable there. The defense somehow avoided that shot from going in.
George with the ball. Now guarded by Towns. Count that bucket. And that's now 6 points for Paul George.
And the mid-range jumper really right in George's comfort zone. When he isn't blowing by guys and finishing at the rim, he's knocking that one down with consistency. Kevin, he is tough to stop when he gets to the rim.
Yeah, Greg, he can get up a few notches higher. Thunder trailing by 6. Abrinas kicks to Westbrook. Over Teague. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. Minnesota's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. The feed to Gibson. Wiggins from outside. Again, Wiggins missing.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Got a piece of it. Anthony dishes to Westbrook. Hits the three-point bomb. Westbrook's got 5 now.
Sometimes it's more about when Russell hits the three. That time looking confident.
Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Here's Westbrook. From 13 feet, it goes down. Westbrook's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Great recognition there from Russell Westbrook. You take away his path to the basket, he can still just rise up and get you from the mid-range.
Minnesota leading by 3. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Feeds to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Oklahoma City's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Screen by Adams. Westbrook drives in.
Well, the chase for the triple-double last year with Russell Westbrook was one of the most incredible seasons the NBA has ever seen. And I think that everybody who's a ball player thinks about the point guard rebounding as tenaciously and as consistently as Russell did last season as being the most incredible part of his season.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Gibson. Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Butler. And Jones subbed in for Jeff Teague.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
And Westbrook has always been a great rebounder, but that was seemingly the most surprising aspect of all of his triple-doubles.
Yes, 6'3" tall and leaping out of the building and over the top of guys 6'8", 6'10", and snatching boards. His previous high for rebounds was under 8 a game, which is impressive in its own right, but what a huge jump to grab over 10 in a triple-double season. Still remarkable stuff.
And that one drops. Westbrook's got 10 points.
So off the bounce, Russell's been good, but he's getting better setting up without the ball. He's really improving with his touch on those kind of shots.
Jones, the pass to Muhammad. Crawford outside. Back to Muhammad. Just 5 on the clock. Jones, no luck. Thunder trailing by 5. Launches a 3. And the dunk by Grant.
Trust me, defense wants to keep Grant out of the paint, and he wants to get in there. That's why.
Jones dishes to Jang. Crawford outside. Now here's Muhammad. He's guarded closely. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
Yeah, this is the feel of a player to use his body to keep the shot from being blocked. Excellent work there.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Towns kicks to Jones. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. And the shot is good. He's got 8.
How about he has yet to miss 4-4 to start.
Felton with a screen on Jones. Westbrook drives in. He feeds it to Adams. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 4 rebounds in this game. Crawford outside. Dishes to Towns. Felton against Crawford. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Towns, no luck.
And that's just good offense. Surprised he blew that one, and the defense is too.
Ferguson, the pass to Westbrook. Knocks it loose, and that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. And some great passing here so far. Let's check out this chart that breaks down where the assists have been coming from for the Timberwolves.
This backcourt is really shouldering the load in terms of the ball movement and great assists. When you look at the overall contributions compared to the bigs, nice work on distributing the ball.
Here's Muhammad. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Steven Adams picks one up. For Minnesota, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. And that one falls for Muhammad. Chris Dunn's checked in for Russell Westbrook. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. 1:20 left in the first quarter. Felton against Crawford. Doubled by Crawford. Felton kicks to Adams. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Well, you have to put at least one body on Adams, maybe 2. With his size and relentlessness, he'll light you up on the offensive glass.
Outside, Jones. He dishes it to Towns. It's hauled in by Adams. Under trailing by 5. No one near Felton as he lets it go. Hits it from 3-point range. Felton's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Jones dishes to Jang. And finished off by Jang.
And not a guy known for style points when it comes to throwing one down, but every once in a while, Kevin.
Greg, why don't we see more dunks like that from him? He's certainly got the size for it.
I don't think really that's his personality. Sometimes he's just waiting for things to happen, and other times he's in attack mode.
Outside, Felton. Offensive rebound. Here's Kristen, and he converts the layup. Kristen's got his first basket of the night.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Muhammad. It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for Minnesota. Scoring, rebounding. He was all over the place during that quarter. They are riding his performance right now. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18 children back in New Zealand.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do everything, like all chores, pretty much 18 years of being rookie. That's pretty much all it is, and people just beat you up for no reason.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, I'd say it might have toughened him up a little bit, that's for sure. Wow, 18? That is mind-boggling.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And let's quickly break down the game we're watching with the Timberwolves, guys.
They're just not sitting back. They are going for steals, and their activity has been terrific.
Yeah, so that disruption is helping out because it's leading to some easy chances on the other end.
Taking a look at the Thunder, Grant is out there with Steven Adams. Then there's Felton, and it's Ferguson in at the three, the small forward. There's Kristen. Pass to Adams. And Adams with the slam.
Great effort from Adams there. We know he has that size to take the contact, but determined on that play to get the points.
The feed to Towns. And there's the 3-second violation. While we have the time, let's take a look at last season's best transition team. In third, the Thunder.
I mean, it's a crowd-pleasing style, right? I mean, this club just got out and ran at every possible chance.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Pass to Ferguson. Poked away. Grant the pass to Adams. In the corner, it's Felton. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Hey, Brent, it's been said before that champions have no offseason. Thinking about that, what's your take on the balance between resting your body after a long year versus really pushing the strength and conditioning that could take you to another level the next year?
Well, I could throw it back at you, Kevin, and ask you about as you get older and your body changes, you have to do different things, right?
And more, yeah.
Right, so in your younger years, if you don't make the playoffs or you're in the playoffs, maybe to take 1 month off and get right back into the gym, your body's ready to do that and in tune. Take a player that's 10 years down the road, there's no reason for you to push your body. You can be a little more specialized and be a little more efficient in terms of what you do in the off season to get ready for what a training camp represents and then, of course, the upcoming season.
Passes it to Ferguson. Here's Kristen. Jang defending. It's stolen by Jones. And here we go. Muhammad heading to the hoop. And Muhammad throws it down.
How about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Well, this team now has to settle in right here and have a great possession without getting so aggressive that you compound your mistake.
Adams sets the pick for Felton. And the pass to Kristen. 6 to shoot. Adams with the screen on Towns. Here's Kristen. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Back to Towns from downtown. Crawford kicks to Towns. And again, it's Minnesota.
Nice pass here to set that basket up.
Thunder have gotten all but one of their 7 shots in the second quarter to drop. Pretty impressive. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. No good from Grant. The Timberwolves have gone a sensational 5 of 5 from the field since the start of the second quarter. Crawford's shot is good.
Well, Crawford putting on the Jets breathtaking speed when he's driving to the hoop.
Pass to Ferguson. Kicks it to Grant. Knocked away. Pass to Kristen. Tries from 10. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Kristen's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And no one really crashing down on the backside. A breakdown defensively.
Kicks it out to Crawford. Lets it go with a 3. Out of bounds. Oklahoma City takes possession.
And here we have an opportunity to check out Carl Anthony Towns.
Great showing for him last season. 6th in rebounding, 12th in scoring, and a great touch around the rim. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
He was a top 10 rebounder last season for good reason. He's an incredibly intense guy to compete with. And for a full game, too. I mean, just nonstop. Adams. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Minnesota gets called for the foul. This is his first trip to the line tonight. Steven Adams brings a lot to the team, Brent. Got a chance to be more involved, in fact, with the offense after Durant left.
Well, he's not a wispy 7-footer, Kevin. Thick and rugged out there on the floor and willing to set a lot of screens to free up Russell Westbrook. One of the things I'd like to see them do is maybe explore him in the post a little more often as an offensive threat. I think he's capable down there.
Here's Kristen. Teague covering. And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Here's Gibson. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Gibson's got it all tied up now for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here's Anthony. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Taj Gibson picks one up. And beyond his ability to shine on the basketball floor, you have to commend Carmelo Anthony's effort, Greg, to get NBA players and other athletes more involved in making the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but guys like Melo see what is beyond the world of basketball. He's spoken out as well as done the legwork of being active in his communities, and a lot of charity work for Melo. It's just nice to see the maturation process play out.
Timberwolves trail by 3. Left side, Gibson. Over Anthony. Up again. It's good on the putback.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the second quarter. You've got to like how they've shot the ball. Nobody near George. And again, it's Oklahoma City.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Teague dishes to Jang. Butler in the corner. Here's the 3. Another field goal for him. 4 for 6 shooting tonight.
Got to get out on Butler from beyond the arc. His three-point stroke continues to improve.
Here's Kristen. Teague covering. Kristen, the pass to Adams. Ball's knocked loose. Pass to Kristen. Shot clock at 5. From the line. Rebound Minnesota. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. Offensive rebound. The kick out to T. In the corner, it's Wiggins. And they double up Butler. He kicks it to Jang. Wiggins dishes to Gibson.
Ooh!
Okay.
That's how you attack. Wow.
Well, at 6'9", Taj Gibson has the ability to get up there and throw it down.
That was a terrific replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment.
And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for LA after the season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
Towns, he's checked in for Taj Gibson. Russell Westbrook's checked in for Oklahoma City.
Encouraging sign there to see him knock down the free throw.
Wiggins kicks to Towns. Shoots. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got his 4th assist in this one. And for Paul George, who knows what the future holds for him, but Greg, he is a great fit, it would seem, for the Thunder.
Listen, you give the Thunder another star to pair with Westbrook, and they're taking a leap of faith here with George.
Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Oklahoma City trailing. Inside, and George with the stuff.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down. George against Wiggins. In the corner, it's Jang. And George kicks to Westbrook. Over Wiggins. Westbrook, no good. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Towns, an amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Towns has got 8 here in the quarter.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Here's Westbrook. Doesn't go for him. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Teague against Westbrook. Here's Abrinas. And the rejection by Jang. And now the Timberwolves on the break. It's Butler that time on the assist by Jang. And now a 4-point Timberwolves lead.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Here's Westbrook and the rejection by Jang.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling. And I'm just loving how Butler looks for his teammates. If you're open, he'll find you.
Westbrook passes to Abrinas. Back to Westbrook. Over Teague. And the shot is long.
That's just poor shooting right now from him, and I'm not sure why he's even attempting those kind of shots.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Thunder trailing by 8. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Westbrook. Kicks it out to Wiggins. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. And it's 8 points for Andrew Wiggins.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Looking to end the drought, and they pick up 2.
Well, he's 1 for 5 in the quarter, and his body language is saying a lot about where his confidence is. Rattled just a little bit. Maybe the next open look will start him up.
Towns, the screen. On the wing, Wiggins. To the right side. Just 5 on the clock. Towns dishes to T. His 3-pointers off the mark.
And even without that three-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play. The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Here's Wiggins, and Wiggins throws it down.
Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
Thunder trailing by 11. Anthony kicks to George. Adams sets the pick for George, but they recover it. Here's Westbrook, and the rejection by Jang. Wiggins outside. Westbrook against Teague. Towns the screen. Teague the pass to Jang. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Jang with a screen on George. Teague inside the line. They get it again. And finished off by Jang.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
And that is a statement. We're going to keep coming at you hard, even if we've got the lead.
Outside Teague. There's the three. Sinks the three-pointer. Jang's got 9 points in the quarter.
Well, Teague has his binoculars on, able to find his man for that open look.
And so it's Minnesota with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting. Everything dropping in for them. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Jeff, you guys had a great first half. Is the key to the second half to continue to be that aggressive?
Yeah, we got to play defense. They're a really good team. They're going to play hard. They're real physical. We just got to come out and keep guarding.
Jeff, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. The first half was all about Karl Anthony Towns. He had 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 steal. And, Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
There's so many things you can say about the development of Karl Anthony Towns. Just as accurate from the outside as he is in the post. He defends on the perimeter and the rim.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Oklahoma City.
Sloppy ball, way too many wasted possessions, chucking up threes, missing them. I could hit more threes than that, Ernie. I hope they're talking right now about getting the ball inside, because that's what it's going to take. If they were hitting more threes, that'd be a different story. But if was a fifth, Ernie, you know the rest.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
The buildings of downtown Minneapolis all lit up on this lovely evening. Welcome back, everyone, to the Twin Cities. We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
Yeah, pretty much all throughout that first half. And he was taking care of his business on the low blocks and getting more than his fair share of dunks.
Yeah, there's not any guy defensively that was bodying him up or contesting the shot. So right now he's feasting.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Thunder trailing by 16. And Brett, when you hear Donovan on the sideline or in the huddle, it's clear how big a motivator he can be for his team. He certainly gets the most out of his players from the stars to the end of the bench.
One thing that Billy Donovan did in the early part of taking the job with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I remember it well, Kevin, I went to the UCLA campus where Billy Donovan had invited most of the roster for the Oklahoma City team, and he started to establish that trust in the off-season, being there for workouts, understanding the personalities of his team, and getting to know his guys. All of those things have reaped some incredible rewards in the early part of Billy Donovan's coaching career.
Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Andrew Wiggins is out there with Shabazz Muhammad. And it's Towns in at the pivot, manning the middle. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. dishes to Butler. Feeds it to Wiggins. Inside, trying to find Muhammad. Gets it to him. Just 4 to shoot. They get the rebound. Kicks it out to Wiggins. There's the dish to Muhammad. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Butler missing again. Thunder trailing by 15. Westbrook kicks to Anthony. Shoots over Muhammad. A shot by Anthony, no good. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. The kick out to T. Wiggins up top. He feeds it to Muhammad. Plays it up and banks it in. Muhammad's got 11 points.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
To the middle, here's Adams. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Towns has got 11 rebounds in the game. Butler passes to Towns. Towns is doubled. Right side, Butler. Wiggins dishes to Muhammad. Towns. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Anthony's got his 4th rebound in this one. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Wiggins kicks to Butler. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
You gotta like the power of Butler. Just a terrific athlete who throws it down when he can get close to the rim.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
Karl Anthony Towns with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And he's been taking it to the rack all game, and they haven't been able to contain him. They have to put up better fight on the inside.
Minnesota making some changes. Taj Gibson's checked in for Shabazz Muhammad, and it's Crawford in for Jimmy Butler. For 3, Westbrook. Andrew Wiggins grabs the board.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
Yeah, when your shot's in the fridge like this, it's easy to lose your confidence, and that's why some of the most prolific scorers, they have short-term memories.
And here's Westbrook from the arc. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Minnesota leading by 19. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Towns, the pass to Crawford. Wiggins against George. Wiggins dishes to Gibson over Anthony. No good from Gibson.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook, but they'll get another chance. Here's George. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. The Timberwolves have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. Crawford outside. Towns the screen. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Back to Gibson. Over Anthony. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Oh, you just relish those kind of opportunities, and the defense got lucky, but they need to guard that area of the floor a little bit better. And his teammates have to step up just a little bit more. He's been lights out. Needs a bit more support.
Here's Towns. The shot comes out. Adams, some nice D. Thunder trailing by 17. George with the ball. 12 points. Whoa!
Wow. Good look out. My goodness, that was absolutely filthy.
Ugh, nasty. This building is stunned. He dug deep, Greg, into his bag of tricks there. And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. Here's Teague. Towns, the screen. Teague kicks to Towns. To the paint. Kicks it out to Crawford. Timberwolves passing it around. And Towns gets it to go.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Abrinas kicks to Adams. Dishes it to Anthony. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Anthony's got 4 points in the quarter.
Carmelo really has great footwork down low, showing off the feel right there when he gets near the paint.
Teague the pass to Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with two hands on that stuff. Thunder trailing by 19. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Well, Brent, the media and others have commented that while Westbrook is a gifted scorer, he isn't an efficient scorer. What do you think of that?
Well, Russell is surrounded by guys who are still trying to figure out exactly what they are supposed to be in the league. He's not going to wait around for them to figure it out on his watch. And so that's the delicate dance right now for Oklahoma City. Russell Westbrook trying to find a balance between leading the charge and putting a charge in his teammates.
Hey, Brent, when you look at the All-Star balloting, it's amazing how many worthy point guards have to be left off the roster. How'd the league end up with so many great players at that position all at once? It's an amazing story.
It has been an incredible crop. I mean, really the golden era of point guards. And the one guy who I feel really badly for over the course certainly of the last 5 or 6 seasons is one Mike Conley. Any coach in the league would take Mike Conley at the drop of a hat. Yet he's dealing with, over the course of his career, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Tony Parker, Steve Nash, Chauncey Billups, Chris Paul. Should I go on, Kevin? It is a very, very tough position.
Those names, it says it all. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Jones is checked in. The pass to Ferguson. And Gibson over to help. Down low. Here's Grant. Minnesota with the rebound. Gibson's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Wiggins outside. Jones against Westbrook. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Now Jones. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Gibson dishes to Towns. And he banks in the layup.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
Westbrook against Jones. From the baseline. And Westbrook gets it to go. Westbrook's got 7 now in this quarter.
A guy who keeps getting better year after year, making the All-NBA rookie team, first team in 2009. He hasn't looked back.
Jones kicks to Towns. A three-pointer. Wiggins. Minnesota working now with the new shot clock. It's Crawford on the wing. Back to Wiggins. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Wiggins has got 16.
Just no resistance inside at all. They are feasting. This is a straight buffet.
It is. It's a big one. And load the plate. Here's Ferguson. Off target from 3-point range. Timberwolves leading by 21. Here's Gibson. He dishes it to Towns. Outside Gibson. Outside Jones. Just 5 to shoot. Over Westbrook. Jones, no luck. Thunder trailing by 21. Outside Felton. There's the feed to Grant. Crawford passes to Jones. Back to Crawford. Pass to Gibson. Outside Jones. Crawford left side. Here's the three. Kicks it out to Jones. Wiggins outside. On the wing, Jones. He's covered by Westbrook. Towns. And that one hits back iron. Thunder trailing by 21. For three, Felton. Here's Anthony. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Anthony's got 6 here in this quarter. The Timberwolves shooting down near the 40% mark since halftime. They've been slow getting going. We've seen the shift in offensive strategy. Brent, more threes, more spacing, better flow, opening up driving lanes and opportunities to make at least one quick move to the basket. What have defenses been doing on the other side trying to counteract those trends?
I think the biggest trend that you see, Kevin, is the switching defenses. So many rosters now constructed of guys who have the ability to get off of a screen and to pick up a perimeter player. And that's not for 24 seconds, but 5 or 6 seconds, being able to contain dribble penetration and challenge deep threes. So the switching aspect of NBA defense, that is a trend.
Shot from 12, and that one's good. Westbrook. Westbrook's got 9 points here in the second half.
I'm not sure what else you can do right there. Westbrook with the length and quickness to get the shot off, even when you're right next to him.
Jones kicks to Crawford. To the inside. Wiggins against Grant. Wiggins dishes to Crawford. And it's off from three-point range. Thunder trailing by 19. Outside Westbrook. To the paint, looking for Anthony, and gets it there. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Melo has to be in position for plays like that. That time, perfect position.
Westbrook drives in, and so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Way to attack there and then create the contact.
These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Russell Westbrook, one of those players who's a walking triple-double at times, and he loves to pick up his points at the free throw line if possible.
Shabazz Muhammad's checked in for the Timberwolves. Butler comes in for Jamal Crawford. And Oklahoma City with a change here, too. Chris Dunn's checked in. Felton kicks to Westbrook. Pass to Kristen. Outside Felton. 4 on the shot clock. And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
Towns, the screen. Outside, Jones. Muhammad on the wing. And the miss. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Timberwolves lead by 15. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Everybody hang top. Now look, We got to tighten up our defense down here. Keep them off the line. Move your feet. Concentrate on your body position.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his team to maintain that aggressive defensive stature, but be really smart about it too, and I can see that.
Yeah, they're stopping the shot, but then you send the guy to the line. That's not going to help you on the scoreboard.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. And Oklahoma City, looking who they've got to start the fourth quarter. They've got Adams, Kristen out there with Felton. Then there's Grant, and it's Anthony in at the four-man position. And Kristen kicks to Anthony. Passes it to Kristen. From 12 feet out. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. Count the basket.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, he's also crafty with how he approaches it. Right there, he uses just the right move to lay it in.
The pass to Kristen. Kicks to Adams. Rebound, Minnesota.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control. And Butler looking like the Tasmanian devil on the break. You can't give him any room to run, or you might get your feelings hurt.
Felton kicks to Anthony. Feeds it to Grant. Back to Anthony. Baseline jumper. That shot, no good. So Minnesota will take it the other way. Gibson passes to Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Love their strategy, and they've been able to execute on it, building a huge lead.
And Kristen kicks to Anthony. Over Gibson. Anthony missing again.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
On the basket by Jones.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
The Thunder have gotten off to a rough start in the fourth quarter, going 0 for 4 so far. Felton kicks to Anthony. They need this. Buries the jump shot.
Timeout, timeout.
Anthony's got 10 points in just the second half.
And what a smooth release on that shot. Melo is money in the bank from there.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Always am amazed at the consistency of what Carmelo Anthony and his ability to score the basketball has done. Averaged 20 points per game, even as a rookie. And no matter the situation, he definitely can carry a team with his scoring.
Minnesota making some changes. Wiggins comes in for Muhammad, and it's Teagan for Tyus Jones. And then for Oklahoma City, George is checked in for Jeremy Grant, and Alex Abrinas subbed in for Kristen. Wiggins dishes to Gibson. Now here's Butler. Back to Gibson. Takes a three. He kicks it to Towns. Towns is doubled. Back to Gibson. Hey, Brent, we've seen a number of super teams created via free agency or trade. Do you think that's good for the league?
I think it's great for the league. I think it's awesome to see some of the great players play on the same court together and some of the chemistry that creates. But what's been interesting over the course of the last couple seasons, Kevin, is that we've had these young marquee players stepping up in environments and with organizations now that are must-see TV. So aside from the super teams, there are young players carrying their team to hopefully greater and greater heights that keep you interested in all 30 teams in the league.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Brent, the last team you played for, the Houston Rockets. Your dad, your older brother John, also played for the Rockets. What's this connection between the city of Houston and the Barry family?
I've asked them that same question in Houston, and I even talked to Daryl Morey about putting a Barry graveyard across the street where it is that all three of us, our career had ended. I'd love to see a tombstone over there with Rick, John, and Brent.
Well,
maybe we'll add a few more to it, Kevin.
Well, the way you played there, the way you played your career, and your family played, obviously you've set a standard in the league. But that was an interesting stop that you all were there at one time.
I think it's crazy that we all ended in Houston, though.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It is.
3 careers ending with one organization.
Isn't that something?
Weird.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Butler up top. He's covered by Felton. Butler kicks to Gibson. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. A different look for Oklahoma City. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Anthony comes in for Eustace. And Paul George is subbed in for Singler. And here is Teague. Over the decades, the way the league has grown, phenomenal. Due in no small part to the leadership. Brent, what are some of the key traits you've seen of these two great NBA commissioners?
I think the one thing about both David Stern and Adam Silver that they have done a great job with is that they're approachable. There doesn't seem to be a time, at least in an NBA player's career, where they don't feel like they could either call the office and within maybe a day or two hear from somebody from the league office. But the fact that both David Stern and Adam Silver find their way out to arenas throughout the regular season, come to see every team, that approachability, I think, far and away sets those two gentlemen aside.
Thunder trailing by 21. Outside Anthony. The dish to Adams. He feeds it to Felton. Over Wiggins. Doesn't go either for Felton.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Well, he's like a fumbling banker right now, dropping dimes with ease. I like how well he led his teammate on that possession.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it's half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
And Wiggins, his young career just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that two-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
Felton against T. Felton kicks to George. 5 on the clock. Baseline try. Adams' shot is off. Minnesota leading by 23. Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
Out quickly, then the beautiful execution. You can't do it any better.
Well, there's running the floor, and then there's running the floor with purpose, and I love the energy on this play.
In other sports, the drafts have so many rounds, the scouts have a lot of work to do, but with only 2 rounds in the NBA draft, Brent, can the GM really just cover most of it?
I think the GMs, at least the smartest GMs, Kevin, have a great team behind them that gets out there, gathers as much information as possible, and does as much in terms of not only the play, but the player, the dynamics of the player, his characteristics, what he's about. To bring all that information to a general manager and present it to him before the draft, teams do a great job of targeting guys that they think are going to enhance their roster.
And now the international realm comes into play too.
Well, if I signed you up for my Mediterranean scouting service, Kevin, would you do it?
Yeah, I do it for free.
I'll see you over there.
Dishes it to Aldridge. Back to Jang. Here's Bielitsa. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. And here's Brooks from outside. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Felton with the ball. Outside Anthony. Adams sets the pick for Anthony. Pulls up, high post. Again, Oklahoma City.
Melo operating in the mid-range, he does such a great job of finding open areas out there where he knows he can dominate.
Right wing. Now Aldridge. Back to Teague. From deep three-point range. Thunder with the rebound. Adams has got rebound number 13 for him here tonight.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
Timberwolves leading by 22. Aldridge kicks to Zhang. Brent, many teams have cracked down on cell phone use during practices and during games. Can anything be done on a league level in that regard?
Hold on, Kevin. I'm getting a call.
Okay, good. Yeah. Can you put him on hold for just a second?
Yeah, Mom, I'm talking to Kevin Harlan. Yeah, it's a different age. I don't think the league, Kevin, can do anything with regards to how players use their mobile devices. That's up to the team and how it is a coach make sure that the demands of what your practice schedule is and your game schedule and your attentiveness to those times that you need to be there, that takes precedent.
Brooks, the pass to Teague. 4 on the clock. Lets it go from deep. Nailed from three-point land.
Man, that's sure got to be a load off his mind after not hitting a single three-pointer in that first half.
Pass to Ferguson. He dishes it to Anthony. Now the feed to Adams. Misses off the left iron. Minnesota's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Aldridge, no good.
Well, the defense better look up and say thanks. Leaving guys that wide open is not a recipe for success.
Makes no mistake on the open jump shot. And the Timberwolves call time here.
And he's probably looking at some matchups on the floor he'd like to take advantage of.
I'm interested in what he's seeing and then what kind of play they run coming out of this timeout.
Now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Towns, he's checked in for Aldridge. Gibson comes in for Jang. Wiggins is checked in for Bielitsa. And it's Butler in for Brooks. Back to Butler. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Gibson dishes to Wiggins. Teague for three. That doesn't go in either for Teague.
You know, he's usually very reliable from out there, but tonight it's just not going down.
Westbrook, no good. Timberwolves leading by 23. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. The Thunder shooting a respectable 47% from the field in this one. Westbrook kicks to Anthony. Adams with the screen on Gibson. Adams, the pass to Abrinas. Over Butler. Abrinas with the bucket. 1:58 left in the fourth quarter. Wiggins. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And truth is, though he misses that one, it's a shot he normally makes.
Yeah, he has that kind of range, but maybe not that time the best judgment. And that is one thing he does very well. His intensity on the glass helps lead to these high percentage putbacks for his team.
They throw good, Adams.
Well, Steven Adams can have an impact on the game, certainly defensively, certainly with the screen setting. But how about the character of the center of this basketball team? One of the most quotable players in the league, and he'll never hold back from speaking his mind in an interview. Gotta love his disposition.
Here's Kristen. T covering. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Brett, if your team won't be competing for a championship, talk about the balance between giving your first-round picks or young players the playing time they need to develop against making them earn their minutes. That's a very fragile movement back and forth.
I agree, Kevin. Such a tight rope to walk because you don't want to upset veterans on your team who still want to go out and compete on a nightly basis. And you also want to make sure that your rookies just aren't opening the door for them to go out and do whatever it is they want to do on the floor because of your team's situation. So I think that's where the communication between the coach and the staff and how it is that the player is developing, you just don't dole out the minutes for that player's progression.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Minnesota.
Their inside game was what secured them the win tonight.
They had their way in the paint, and those are all high percentage shots, but the defense couldn't stop them from getting down low.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And continued dominance against this team, winning both of their matchups this season.
And a great team effort tonight, helped in large part with contributions, and the nice night it ended up being for Karl Anthony Towns.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. There's a screen. Grant, right side. Collison dishes to Grant. Pass to Ferguson. Here's Kristen. And Felton now, top of the key. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was